One of the complaints that we hear all the time on the Dooney Facebook groups is that people pack and ship high quality, heavy leather, and somewhat expensive Dooney bags in tiny boxes where they are folded up and destroyed. Or if not destroyed, that it was just by luck that they came out and are okay. I mean, even on my channel, I've unboxed several bags on video that I've posted where I was like, oh, the bag is folded in half, there are creases now, and so far none of them have been irrevocably ruined. But now when I buy bags on Poshmark or wherever, I leave an extremely detailed comment. Here's how to ship it. And not all of the sellers are real motivated on these platforms. So am sure to like tactfully mention that, you know, if the bag arrives destroyed, then we have to return it, and then no one's happy because none of them want to deal with a return. They want to get the bag sold and done with. And so while I'm not saying if you don't pack it correctly, I'm going to return and make your life hell, I'm just sort of saying like everyone will be happier if the bag is packed and arrives in the condition it's shown in. It's like I try to make it nice, but the thread is still there. That's how I roll. So I thought I would film packing this baby pink Florentine satchel to show how I pack it based on my experience I've shipped a lot of stuff in my life. I used to sell things on eBay when I was younger as like a side gig, and also because I've received a lot of bags at this point. So here are the basic ingredients. First thing, of course, is a box that is actually big enough. This is no flat rate priority mail box. And the important thing to remember about flat rate priority mail boxes is actually that unless you're shipping something very heavy, they're actually overpriced. The flat rate is about the weight. So if you want to save money on shipping and use the correct box size, use metered priority mail rates, which you can print labels from PayPal or from eBay, or just go to the website, or I don't know if you have a Pitney Bowes account, whatever. It's really easy these days thanks to the internet and printers. So obviously we need the bag, and I want to show you that this bag is fully stuffed right now. Like, I'm not going to ship it quite this stuffed, but I just want to show you that it fits with room to spare. So there's room for padding as well as fitting in the box completely. See, I can just push it down in here, and there's room for me to pad the bag. That's important. I have various types of padding here. I like to use paper, and I'm a hoarder of packing materials because I order things online. We live in the countryside. Whenever there's a good box, I'm reusing this box. It's in perfect condition. This came with something I bought. This came with an Amazon box. All of these packing materials were free to me because I bought something. I've got Air Pack. Love these guys because they weigh nothing, and they will protect the bag. I've got tissue paper for wrapping the handles, which in my opinion is extremely important. And of course, if necessary, I also have bubble wrap. So check it out. Here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I do is stuff the bag, but not this much. I stuff this to take a photograph or to store it. I like to stuff them pretty fully so they don't sag just while they're being, stored and not used, and they look really nice in photos. So I'm going to take some stuffing out. It's like a clown car. I took too much stuffing out. I'm going to put a little more back in. So the main thing I think you want to support are the corners. Florentine bags, you don't want to fold them. You don't want them to go flat. Some of the bags can recover from being completely flat. I've bought a few that came completely flat, like flat this way, like they folded down this crease down here. Not that there's actually a crease for folding, and they were okay. But when I'm selling, why risk it? I don't want to have to refund someone's money on a bag that was fine when it left me, and they don't want to receive a bag that's busted. So everybody wins if you stuff it correctly. So I'm going to make sure most of the stuffing is in the corners, and then I'm going to zipper back up, which I need 2 hands for, and I will come back in a moment. This is the approximate profile I'm going for. It won't go flat, but neither is it that beautiful, like round, big fat teardrop shape. It's a little squishy. That's good. Next step, handles. The main other thing that can damage a box, damage a bag in a box is its own handles. When you store your Florentine bags, don't store them like this because these will leave marks in the leather. Either dye transfer, which I think is somewhat rare, or actual like little dings in the leather, which is pretty common. And I don't want it doing it down here either. I've seen some bags that have had damage down here where the handle's been digging in or there was something stuck to it or things like that. So I'm just going to wrap the handles in tissue paper just so we're extra careful. As you can see, this is not like a gift bag. It doesn't need to be pretty. I don't use tape. I just wrap it and then squeeze it until it pretty much stays on. That's plenty good enough. Now that both handles are wrapped, it is time for the ingredient that I forgot to show you up front, dust bag. If you don't have a dust bag, you can ship the bag in a white pillowcase. You can get those at the thrift shop and wash them. Or not. You can buy bulk white dust bags on Amazon or eBay, or you can simply wrap it in tissue paper if you don't feel like selling a dust bag with the bag, which is also fine. The most important thing that the dust bag does is to add a layer of protection so the Florentine doesn't get scratched. There we are, all nestled inside. The handles are still wrapped. I'm gonna tug this drawstring closed and then actually pack the box. Starting with a nice layer of that padded papery stuff. I'm gonna put the Dooney in there, and you can see that I've still got a fair amount of room to pack. So I'm just gonna start using my material until it is pretty well secured. It's not like it's made of glass, so you don't have to buy industrial bubble wrap. Here, I'm going to use some of the packing material, the stuffing material. I mean, you can go right back in the bag afterwards. You just want to prevent it against the worst. And while there's still some room to move in here, this is probably where I'm going to leave it because it is already... I'm going to fix that. This is already 10 times the amount of packing that Dooney themselves uses for their bags, which, I mean, is a shame and stupid. But, again, it's not made of glass. The main key, this is really hard to do one-handed, is that you don't want a minor bump to destroy the bag. If the box construction fails and is completely crushed by something, that is what insurance is for. And when you open the box and see that it has multiple packing materials and whatnot, that should be fairly sufficient for an insurance claim. I think I'm going to put a little more paper just on top, just to undercut what I just said. But this bag, this box is pretty much good. I just wanted to show you, not my address, how deep the box is from the side. So I have large hands, but it is, you know, a hand spread apart, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 inches. Not enormous, but not a tiny flat rate priority mail box or even a medium or large flat rate box. I got this box from Target, clearly, and it's free. And the postage on a Florentine satchel packed the way I pack it to the United States, the continental United States, tends to be about $10 to $15 from Pennsylvania. Haven't shipped to Hawaii or Alaska yet, so it might be more. But postage is really affordable when you do the metered priority mail, and then you just use your free packing materials. It's not that hard. It's not expensive. It doesn't take that long, especially if you're not yammering to a camera. So I highly recommend you pack your bags this way. And if you buy a bag and you think the seller is going to crush it, and I mean in a bad way, not in the cool, like entrepreneurial way, send them a link to this video and tell them, do this. That's why I'm making this video. Because no one is happy when a bag arrives destroyed that it didn't have to be. Also, if you don't pack your bags, the insurance is worthless. Just saying. So I'm going to add just a little more material and then tape it up and then print my label and we're good to go. This bag is off to its new home. I hope this was helpful. When in doubt, add extra packing materials and don't forget to stuff your bags because they will get creased otherwise. Thought you might like to see my packing hoard. Normally this stuff lives in the basement, but we have had the flu for weeks and so it's kind of piled up here. Now we're feeling better. It'll move to the basement again, but for now it's upstairs, ground floor by the entryway. So let's see. I think to finish filling out the bag, I will just use more of this stuff because it weighs nothing. And let's see. There we go. Top of the box cannot collapse in now. This is one extremely well-packed Florentine satchel. And that's it. It's so easy. So don't skimp on packing your bags, especially if they're Florentine or one of the harder leathers like Saffiano, especially. Never fold any of the harder leathers. Never fold anything that's Vachetta, which is the untreated leather. Samba leather can like squish down flat and like pop right back up again, so you don't have to worry nearly so much about that. But any bag that has any kind of rigidity, always make sure to stuff it and do all this because otherwise you could ruin the bag and then who's going to pay for it? You'll have to refund the buyer's money and then you'll have to try to file a claim, and if your packing is insufficient, your claim will be denied. No one will be happy. So in short, just do it right the first time and ask your sellers, the people you buy from, to do it right the first time too, and everyone will be happier and fewer bags will die a needless death. On that note, I'm going to tape this up and ship it out.